You think about this, right? And I'm to your point. When you think about the richest that started in rap, most of their money is not from rap.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about Jay-Z, the majority of his money is not from music. Now you use music to catapult into other things, but the majority of the money that he's made has been outside of music. You think about somebody like Kanye, even though he went through a situation he's going through, a dude that goes from having almost 2 billion, if not 2 billion, down to 400 million, but the majority, that goes to show that the 1.4, whatever it was, 1.6, it's from Adidas. You know, you think about somebody like right now, Nas, he's getting 40 million. He cashed out 40 million from the Ring app. Then he got another app he got $100 million in. You think about Dr. Dre, as much as we love his music, the majority of that money came from Beats by Dre. So you right.
Investments.
You have to branch off, use your music to catapult into other things if you can, 100%, man. So
Jay-Z didn't get rich from rap, and Cameron just exposed how he built his empire. On Talk with Flea, Cam breaks down the real wealth secrets in hip-hop. He talks about how the biggest names like Jay-Z, Kanye West, Nas, and Dr. Dre made the majority of their money outside of music. Cam explains why being an octopus in the game is essential. Using your music as a stepping stone to restaurants, apps, tours, and other business ventures. He even gives insight into why record labels aren't what they used to be and why artists today can run their own labels and keep more control.
Yeah, and that's real talk. Money is always to make more money in investment. We are so quick to run and go get a chain or to get other things or a house or a car or something to prove to people who don't care about you that you're better than them. That's so important to so many people when in fact, it's like people are more concerned about looking rich than actually being rich. You get rich in a quiet manner. And people like Jay-Z have certainly mastered that.
This conversation is full of business gems that most people miss. And Cam's perspective shows how you can leverage influence, strategy, and entrepreneurship in hip-hop. By the end of this video, you're going to see why music is just the start, not the finish of building wealth. Now I'm about to play this clip for y'all, but before I do, I just need y'all to like, leave y'all thoughts down below in the comment section, and subscribe. Let's get into it.
Shout out to my bro, Baby. That's like my big bro. He told me, he said, yo, you don't even know how lucky you motherfuckers are. And I was he said, I said, what you talking about? He said, y'all niggas got everything here. The record companies here, the people here. Man, I have
He's talking about living in New York.
20 billion I lived up this motherfucker.
I'm trying to tell you.
He told me that. What you talking about? He said, y'all niggas got everything here. The record companies here, the people here. Man, I have 20 billion I lived up this motherfucker.
I'm trying to tell you.
He told me that. He told me that for a fact. He said, y'all niggas don't even know how lucky your motherfuckers are. So when you say that, I understand where you're coming from because that was relayed to me over a decade ago from my nigga Baby, man. So
and not just that, Killer. You know, I lived in New York during that whole period. You know, so it was just a blessing to be a young dude. Like a lot of people didn't know, even though I'm making the band. You heard me. I was 16.
Right.
Like I remember, I seen you in so many clubs through the BMF era, nigga. I was like 17 around that time. So
you was outside.
Y'all was my school.
Right. And when I did see you, you wasn't with nobody. You was on your own talking about, I'm going to see what the fuck going on. The band shit was over. You was like, I'm outside. I got to see what's the fuck happening. I'm here. We might as well see what the fuck
and not just that, son. Even being around you, I'm a big Dipset fan. You know, us down here in New Orleans, we Dipset out for real. Like
I appreciate
y'all
that.
was our inspiration.
Right.
So you know what I mean. I had to be around that shit. You heard me?
I appreciate that, man. So let me ask you this, man. What you been doing lately and what you got going on before we even start any questions? Let people know what's been happening with you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you saying that. I mean, I got a restaurant down here, the lounges down here. You know, I wiggle how I wiggle. If I was to say the names, they ain't gonna come support me. But
I agree with.
Why would you say they wouldn't come support you, Chopper? We support Chopper. Y'all know about Chopper? You remember him from making a band? I would support him. You know what I mean? If y'all down in New Orleans, look up what his business is and don't destroy it.
That 100%. You know, I had a few restaurants where I recognize that so much. I had a few spots, and when niggas found out it was mine, they throw bricks through the window,
Real?
come put graffiti on it. Shit was cool until they knew it was mine. So I totally understand what you're saying, man.
Wow, was that a problem really for celebrity businesses? It seems like people would want to support them. I think your name would add a little bit of prestige to it. I never heard of that. That's crazy. My people.
100%.
Yeah, so and I learned a lot from the game, bro. I learned that you got to be an octopus to survive in this. You can't really bank on trying to be a rapper. You understand? You got to really use that as a stepping stone to create different outlets. And if you ain't thinking like that, you bound to drown. You definitely gonna lose. You putting all your eggs in one basket. Them things gonna crack.
That's a
You know
fact.
what I mean? So
That's a fact. 'Cause
yeah,
you think
you
about
gotta
this, right?
hustle, bro.
And you're 100% right. You think about this, right? And I'm to your point. When you think about the richest niggas that started in rap, most of their money is not from rap. When you think
it's not.
you think about Jay-Z, the majority of his money is not from music. Now you use music to catapult into other things, but the majority of the money that he's made has been outside of music. You think about somebody like Kanye, even though he went through a situation he's going through, a dude that goes from having almost 2 billion, if not 2 billion, down to 400 million. But the majority, that goes to show that the 1.4 or whatever it was, 1.6, is from
Believe that.
Adidas. You know, you think about
Believe
somebody
that.
like right now, Nas, he's getting 40 million. He cashed out 40 million from the Ring app. Then he got another app he got $100 million in. You think about Dr. Dre, as much as we love his music, the majority of that money came from Beats by Dre.
That's
So
true.
you're right,
Beats.
you have to branch off, use your music to catapult into other things if you can, 100%, man. So I'm happy that you.
That's why I learned a lot of game from you too. You know, just dropping mixtapes, dropping projects. Look, and to the artists out here, you your own label. You don't need no offense to the record labels, big ups to them, but you don't need a record label. You are your record label. You understand me? Like this a paid for hire game. So you know, the moment you start making money from different outlets, you dig. Then you'll look in the mirror and say, with the money that you got, am I worth investing that into? You know what I'm saying?
No, you ain't. You are 100% correct, and especially we're in a.
Invest in yourself first. Have some skin in the game. It's hard to ask people to invest with you when you have no skin in the game yourself, or asking someone to rescue you when you're not ready to do what it takes to rescue yourself. You want me to take all the risk and give you the money? Come on, man.
whole different time to where
And these will be the same people later talking about you jerked them.
if you're a major record label, they don't want you till you got numbers. It isn't like before where they could go scout talent and be like, yo, this nigga's gonna be the next one, or I'm telling you this, that, and third. What they do now, if a record label wants you, and I'm just telling this to young artists as well, 9 out of 10 times you don't need them. You know what I'm saying?
No, you don't.
You don't need them
No, you
because they
don't.
only want you because you have 10 million followers, or you have X amount of Facebook friends, or you have this many friends on Twitter, or Instagram followers, or Snapchat, or wherever else. They're going to the analytics, and by the time they figure out exactly how much money you're making, they're probably going to offer you less or the same amount of money you're making. So to your point, 100% you don't need it. I remember years ago, we talked about it, not real quick, because we talked about this on the last show, and Sin asked me about my relationship with Mac Miller. God bless the dead. And that's like I said,
Rest in peace to Mac.
yeah, rest in peace to Mac. And I was telling Sin that, you know, he came to my house with my studio and all that, and he was more like a cool ass nigga. We didn't really rap about music too much. We did like 3-4 songs together, but it was more about that nigga was just cool. We would vibe and chill out. And he was telling me, and the reason I'm telling me, I don't know, he's been going for a while. This damn time flies. This maybe like 12 years ago. I don't know the exact time, but it was a long ass time ago. And we was chilling in my house, and he was saying, yo, I forget what record label it was, but a record label, he said, yo, Cam, they just offered me $5 million. I'm not taking that. I said, damn. And at the time I didn't understand where he was coming from, because he was on the game earlier than I was when it came to pushing shit digitally, even though it was really early as far as you know, TuneCore, DistroKid, all that shit. And I was like, what's wrong with $5 million? And he said, Cam, you know,
What an interesting, what's you know something I don't know?
and I was like, what's wrong with $5 million? And he said, Cam, you know, that's what I'm saying to myself. And he said, Cam, I'm about to go on a 60-city tour. and I'm getting 100,000 a tour. I was like, damn, you making 100,000 a show? I was bugging. But that's just my nigga who come into my crib.
Right.
He said, when the tour's over, I'm making $6 million from the tour, and they offered me $5 million. He said, Cam, I ain't signed no record deal now. If they want to come to me, this is exact words, they want to come to me with the Michael Jackson deal, give me $50 million, I might could talk. But besides that, what the fuck I need to talk to niggas for?
Cameron just put the blueprint on the table, and it's powerful. Honestly, this is a masterclass in using music to catapult into real wealth.
To start you off to be really rich.
The way he breaks down Jay-Z, Kanye West, Nas, and Dr. Dre shows you that being a rapper alone isn't what makes you rich. I think the biggest...
All right, so this was a real dope video. If you want to see this in its entirety, it comes from Elroy Jet Setter Productions. The title of the video is Cameron Exposes Jay-Z's Wealth Secrets. All right, we out. Mic check.